All right, it's time for another edition of You Make the Call.
IBM presents You Make the Call.
The Vikings are 7-9 and essentially out of the playoffs. There's not much to play for. What makes you a real fan? You make the call. Is it A, cheering vociferously for the Vikings to win because no, quote, real fan would ever cheer for them to lose? B, cheering vociferously for the Vikings to lose to improve their draft position? C, acknowledging that your feelings have absolutely zero bearing on the outcome and that the outcome will have virtually zero bearing on the Vikings' future, and just watch the game for whatever entertainment value, however minimal, it may provide. Or D, only a freaking loser thinks or cares about judging the authenticity of another's fandom. Now I'm going to kind of say it's definitely D, but maybe a little bit of C. I can understand someone cheering for the Vikings to win a meaningless game that may actually hurt their draft position. Because, frankly, if they move up or down 5 slots in the draft, it's probably not going to make a difference. On the other hand, if somebody would rather they lose a meaningless game to improve their draft position when they're already out of the playoffs, more power to you. Either of these things makes you more or less of a fan in my book. I was not cheering for the Vikings to lose. I did not want them to lose today. But I also don't care if other people wanted them to lose. If you think you're a real fan, because you cheer for them no matter what, and you'll just choke on and swallow whatever crap the Vikings poop into your mouth every year, and say "Skol" over and over, and do your stupid Skol chant before the game that, frankly, I think is stupid. I do judge people who do the Skol chant. It's like, what a ridiculous thing. Why don't we just cheer? Why don't we make a really loud cheer before the game and just scream our lungs out, get pumped up? No, we got to do this Skol like we're Flipper. That's real tough. That's real scary. I also saw a lot of criticisms of the Lions for not beating the Vikings badly enough today. It's like, they're playing the Vikings second stringers and they're barely beating the Vikings. They're going to get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. The Packers are going to kill them or whoever they play. It's like, first of all, it wasn't that close of a game. This game was never in question. It's kind of like that Eagles game in week 2 where the Eagles jumped out to a 20-point lead and the Vikings put up a bunch of garbage touchdowns. Like, just because it ends up looking fairly close does not mean that outcome was ever in question. The Lions handily beat the Vikings today. And the Lions probably played a little bit of prevent defense themselves and weren't maybe trying their hardest either because they're trying to save something for next week. But the Lions rightfully won this division this year, and to just try to crap on them and say they're not any good, well, what the hell are you? Oh, well, our quarterback got hurt, so we have an excuse. Yeah, you're not a real fan if you make excuses. How about that, frickin' loser? Only someone who's not a real fan makes excuses. The Lions were winning this division whether Cousins gets hurt or not. The Vikings had Akayleb Evans at cornerback, whether Cousins gets hurt or not. They have no pass rush if Cousins gets hurt or not. They have a porous offensive line if Cousins gets hurt or not. Show some respect for the team that rightfully won the division and stop being idiots. Our stat of the week, which did not surprise me at all, during the broadcast, they mentioned the Vikings defense led the league in blitzing and 3-man rushes. 52% of the time, I think they blitz, and 21% of the time they rush through. Nothing sums up the Vikings more perfectly. This foot on the gas, completely off the gas. That's how they play offense, that's how they play defense, and that's why they can dominate for stretches and then get run over for stretches. Anyway, our awards for this week. The Dalvin Cook Award for a guy who goes down short of the first down rather than try to fight for it. This was on 4th down. Brandon Powell catches the pass. He went down short of the first down, didn't get it. Vikings probably lose anyway, even if he gets it, but that's the type of play, stupid play, that stupid Vikings make. And players on good teams, or halfway decent teams, fight for that first down. The award for a future Vikings defensive back, that goes to Jordan Addison, who I think it was the first quarter. Vikings ran a flea flicker. Nick Mullins throws a perfect pass to the end zone, and Jordan Addison just slows down for some reason. I guess he can't track the ball properly. Gonna hit him perfectly in stride. If he hadn't slowed down, it's too late. He can't reach the ball. It's incomplete. And that inability to track a pass in the air, I mean, he is going to make a perfect Vikings defensive back. The Mike Remmers Award for not blocking a guy.
Al, you have a creative mind. Tell me what Mike Remmers is doing right here.
Let me watch.
That goes to Johnny Munt. There were 2 plays. One was a 4th and 6 early in the game where Mullins actually fought for the first down, dove for the first down. And Munt's standing there and just doesn't block the guy, the Doc and Rhodey lookalike, who's trying to make the play. And there was another play later in the game where, again, Munt just didn't block a guy.
End around in the hands of Jefferson. He looks to throw it, and he gets thrown down.
The Garrett Bradbury Award for appearing weightless.
Even though he weighs like 300 pounds, somehow he gets pushed back after the snap at like faster than free fall speed.
Now, typically this is an offensive lineman gets this award, but this week it goes to a defensive lineman, Harrison Phillips. He got pushed back like 5 yards by a running back. Another Viking is trying to slow the guy down, and yet he's still able to push Harrison Phillips like he's weightless.
Oh, Harrison Smith. Nice tackle, Harrison Smith.
The award for the play that proves that anybody who thinks this was a Super Bowl team, if Cousins hadn't gotten hurt, needs to be punched. That's that touchdown pass where Akayleb Evans just got torched beyond belief. And the Lions receiver just ran across the field and around and back and into the end zone. Anybody who thinks a team with Akayleb Evans playing regular minutes, let alone win a Super Bowl, win the division, or even compete for the division title, you're crazy. Put the Kool-Aid away. Stop caring about who's a real fan or not, and punch yourself in the face.
The end zone, deflected and caught. It went off Evans.
Maybe the refs do hate the Vikings award because that the 4th down play, I think it was 4th and 1 for the Lions, where number one, this is how we're still measuring first downs. We bring the chains out. It's so imprecise and crude. It's a joke, but it looked like they were short. And you ought to be able to show us with a camera angle why it is a first down, if indeed it is a first down. You shouldn't give us the impression that it's short. Sure looked like it was short. So I got to believe it's because the refs actually do hate the Vikings. And I don't blame them because we have Akayleb Evans on our team. The Laquan Treadwell Award for being wrong for 2 reasons on the same play.
He dropped a pass, and he was way 5 yards short of what would have been a first down if he was anywhere near the first down, if he had caught it. So he didn't catch it. He's nowhere near a first down, but he gets up and signals first down. You idiot.
That goes to Josh Metellus. I hate to give this to Metellus because he was like our best player this year. But it was that 4th down play where it looked like maybe they stopped him, and Metellus puts his fist up, signaling 4th down. After the 4th down play. If you stop him on 4th down, it is not 4th down. So he's wrong. And also, they didn't actually stop him. So he's wrong that it's not 4th down, and he's wrong that he thought they stopped him. And last, the award for the missed cheap shot of the week. That's where I miss a cheap shot by a player. That goes to every cheap shot by number 31 for the Lions, the guy who dove at T.J. Hawkinson's knee and ended his season, and tried to kill Justin Jefferson also in that prior Detroit game. I'm just assuming he had a number of cheap shots, but I didn't see any of them. I was kind of distracted at times. I'm assuming I missed a bunch of cheap shots by number 31. Don't remember his name. Not going to look it up. And that's something I just pisses me off is the stupidity of certain players and certain fans where it's like, okay, you can't hit guys in the head anymore. So the only option is to dive at their knee or their ankles. That's some people's stupid idea. Well, you can't hit them in the head, so you got to go low. I don't know. Maybe you could go for their waist, their torso. Maybe you could not focus on hitting them, but maybe play the ball, you stupid idiot. But no, the only option is to dive at their knee, hurt them, end careers, end seasons. And that's great. That's brilliant. But I don't know. Detroit won this division fair and square. They're a better team than the Vikings. Any Viking fans who wants to criticize the Lions to say they're not any good, maybe go punch yourself in the face. Or find a Lions fan and let the Lions fan punch you in the face. Because you're just a joke. Okay, you want to talk who's a real fan, who's not a real fan. If you want to crap on the Lions for not being that good, you may be a real fan, but you're also a real moron. And we need fewer of these real morons cheering for the Vikings. Another season in the books. Thank you for watching this year. Maybe I'll have a couple more videos. I don't know. But not a great year. Not a fun year. Next year probably won't be any better.